What really makes the page that I've brought here today is all the glitter. I just love the way it picks up the light and really shines. So I'm going to show you how to make the glitter flowers on the layout. So the first thing is I'm going to take this beautiful piece of paper and I'm going to cut out two of these pink designs, and they're going to become the petals of my flower. So you can see I have two here that are already done. And then I'm going to use a glue pen. And the reason I'm going to use a glue pen is because I want to doodle with glue and then have the glitter covered. So it's kind of like doodling with glitter. And so for the first one, and I forgot to mention, the glue comes with a little bead on the end, and you just pull that off, and that's so that that all stays nice and moist. And you're just gonna doodle right on the outside edge. And I'm gonna take a fine glitter, and I'm just gonna open it up, and right where I've doodled, I'm gonna dump plenty of glitter on there. Dump it off, and you can see now I have a beautiful shiny edge. And I do want to point out the difference between the fine and the chunky glitter. If you look, you can see this one is very fine and this one is chunky, and they're going to catch the light a little bit differently. You're going to get a shimmer from the one on the right, and you're going to get more of a blam bling effect from the one on the left. So if I want, in the center here, I could color in tons and tons and tons of glue, because just because the tip is very small on this, it's kind of like a ballpoint pen, doesn't mean that you actually can't cover a lot of surface. And then I'm going to take some of the chunky glitter, and you know what, I'm going to pour that right on top of this other glitter, and I'm not going to worry about it because I'm going to have a kind of Mardi Gras mix afterwards when I'm done, and I can certainly use that for something else. And when I flick it off here, you can see I have this wonderful glittered center. And I can take some time and I can do like a little outline design here, just following the line of the paper. You know, other people have done the hard work for you here. They've done the design, and all you have to do is just fill it in. And I really like that. So here you go. And you'll notice when I put this second color of glitter on, it doesn't actually go at all in the first area because that's already covered. So you can feel free to keep adding as many colors and textures, different kinds of glitter. Right now, I'm just gonna color in that petal area again, covering it with plenty of the glue. And let's use this big blue chunky glue. Let me slide that off. Oh, chunky glitter. Did I say glue? Sorry about that. And there you can see you got all three colors going. And I have one here, or I should say two here, that are already done. You can see how I filled it all in with different textures and colors. And the bottom one I haven't done a lot on, okay? And I have put some foam adhesive on the back. So I'm simply gonna remove that, pop these together, offset them, and now I have a beautiful flower. Okay, so let's move on to the second kind of flower. And I have all these wonderful double-sided pattern papers. And you can see there are so many right now that are out on the market. They're just gorgeous. And I'm going to work with this one that's right on top. Oops, floating paper. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small pair of scissors and I'm going to cut a square. And the reason I'm going to cut a square is just because it's easier to work with than anything else. And then I'm going to cut it into a very loose circle. Now you will notice I am not being careful, I am not being exact, I'm not using a punch, I'm just hacking away at it. And now I'm going to slowly cut a spiral. And as I cut my spiral, I just go in. It doesn't matter if it's herky-jerky, I just do the best that I can. And starting at the outside, I'm now going to start to roll. And I'm not worrying about if the paper's creasing or if it's exactly right or anything like that. I just roll, 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 roll. And kids love doing this. It's a great thing for invitations or, you know, little girls. I actually think the flowers look beautiful. You can put them on a headband. You can do a decorative box or something like that. Lots of different possibilities because they're super dimensional. When I get to the end, and you see I have this little bit here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little adhesive dot, I'm going to push it on, and then that's just going to seal right at the bottom, okay? And then I'm going to take the glue pen, and because it has such a small tip, I'm just going to coat the edges and the top here and all the little parts of it. And then I'm going to dip it in this pile of glitter. See, I told you we use that Mardi Gras mix for something fun. And then you can see here that it's just stuck to the edges as a kind of nice little frosting. So let's go back to the layout for a second. If you look at it, And you can see that I've done lots of little detailing here with the scallops that I drew. I doodled these little blue things, or they're purple coming out. And that's the fine glitter. And you'll notice I also use the fine glitter for the text. And so it really shows, and you can see everything really clearly.